without a shadow of a doubt, you can do your job in 4 hours. It only takes your job, whatever job you're in, whether it's an 8-hour a day, 10-hour a day, 12-hour a day, it only takes you 4 hours. If you're really focused, hyper-focused, and you're gonna do it, and I'll show you exactly how I did it, and exactly how it works, and what it can do for you, you've got to be hyper-focused and you've got to be ready. When I used to work in recruitment in Manchester, this is how I used to operate in my day, and this is psychopathic to a level, but to me makes total sense. So when I chose my apartment was right next to work, meaning that I had a 30-second commute to walk to the office, which means there's no deterrent, there's no kind of commute, there's no wasting time. Those people who were traveling 1 hour to get to work and then 1 hour to get back, they were losing 10 hours on me. So I might not have been the best in the office, but I was outworking people by at least 10 hours, those people by at least 10 hours. Then what I would do is that commute literally would take me 30 seconds. So I would wake up and get into the office first. So I'd figure out when everybody else was going to the office, and everybody else was getting into the office 7:45 to 8:30. We started work at 8:30 until 5:30. And then after work, most people would leave between 6 and 7, and then some people were working till 8, 9. What I would do is I'd get into the office before 7:30. So I'd get there 7:25, 7:30, so I was the first person in the office. What that does for you is the people around you see you as hardworking because you're always the first in the office, and that word spreads. It's like, oh, well, you were the first in the office, and everybody's got a key card. Well, you're the first. Oh, no, Lee's the first in the office. So what that does for you is everybody thinks you're really, really hard working because everybody sees you there as soon as they get to work. So you're already on it, and that sets a precedent. And your managers and directors really like that because it starts to create a culture of hard work. That's one thing, and it helps. So it's going to help you in your career, but it's the time when nobody else is there, nobody else is distracting you. From my point of view, nobody else is distracting me. So I'm in work and I'm getting my stuff done. I've already written a to-do list the day before, so I'm not coming into work and I'm going, oh, what do I need to do today? And therefore you check emails and then you go into reactionary phase. Maybe you check your phone, you go into reactionary phase again. Straight in, away from phones off, emails off. I'm just literally kind of proactively doing what I need to do. And between 7:30 and 11:30, I get done my targets for the day. I worked in recruitment, so this was very kind of KPI target-driven environment. Within 4 hours, I get my targets done for the day. Not difficult, especially if you're stepping up to the plate and you're kind of bringing the noise, yeah? Super important. So for 4 hours, that's when I would hit my targets. And that would earn me in the year a certain level. That would earn me my on-target earnings. Then from 11:30 until I finished, that was my free time to earn over my target. That's how I saw it. Again, what that does for you in your team and in the office is it sets a precedent, shows that you're hardworking, it shows you that you're serious about what you do, and it stops people from distracting you during the day as well. That's something that a lot of people don't say. Then what I would do is when everybody finishes at 5:30, or when the time finishes at 5:30 and you can go home, then I would go at 5:30. I would leave the office, and everybody was fine with that because I was the first in the office, and they didn't know whether I got there at 7:30 in the morning or 6:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Then at 5:30, I would go to the gym. I would go to the gym for 45 minutes to an hour. And that would be an efficient session, but that's including showering, getting changed, getting ready and stuff like that. And then I'd go straight back to the office. And I'd go straight back to the office at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I'd work until 9 o'clock. And within that time, again, no distractions, very few people in the office, 5, 6, 7 people in the office. But those people who were the late stayers, they'd probably get into work later and then stay late. Those people would see me as the last to leave the office. And that was super important. And it's not me being a busy fool. It's not me trying to look busy. It's me knowing that at the best times in the day to get stuff done is when nobody's there, or when there's fewer people are there, is to come over. If somebody comes over and says, hey, what's your opinion on this? I've got a situation with a client and what should I do with this? It's not a 30-second conversation. That's you being focused, coming out of your focus, focusing on this, trying to refocus again. It's 15 minutes. Serious stuff, and that water cooler mentality that we always talk about, if you get dragged into that and you're having a conversation about, oh, what did you do a week? Did you play football the weekend? Oh yeah, did you see Man United play Liverpool? And all of a sudden that's like 50, and then you're in a football focus, and then all of a sudden trying to refocus again. So that 8 hours, 9 hours to do a job, are you absolutely serious about that? When I've worked in a KPI target-driven environment, it's taken me 4 hours to hit my own target earnings. 4 hours per day. That's all it takes if you're hyper-focused. And in terms of energy and focus and productivity level, we've got about 4 hours. So after those 4 hours at 11:30, then I would be, okay, let's take a break. Let's have a coffee. Set away, okay, reassess. How am I doing my targets? What do I want to achieve for the rest of the day? And that's already written the day before. So I've got my to-do list in terms of my targets, how they're getting done. And then once I've reevaluated at 11:30 to 11:45, then I'm going again for another 2-3 hours. And then I'll literally have something. If you go to egg timer, / 15 minutes / 30 minutes or whatever, you can put an egg timer on your computer, which will set an alarm once you've finished. What that does for a competitive person from sports, especially from a sporting background, I always take on high level performing people in sports, or people who are passionate about sports and regularly go into sports, rather than somebody who's been to a great school or has got a great degree. It's so much more important, especially in this environment. Those sports people will start to realize that they're against the clock, and they'll compete against themselves to get as much done as possible. It's not rushing your work, it's keeping the quality, but it's trying to do as much quality work in that 15-minute or 30-minute period as well. Super positive. As soon as you import that, you'll realize that you're doing 2x, 3x, 4x as much. So then what you do, okay, you're first in the office and you have that reputation. So you're a hard worker to do, and you're getting stuff done, and you're achieving stuff, and you're doing your KPIs, and you're consistently hitting your KPIs and targets. And then what people are seeing is you're last to leave. You're dedicated, you're committed, you want this. That shows a natural leader. So when it comes to promotions, you're not only hitting your targets and proving you can do the work, you're already a leader without even talking. You're already a leader, and you're already somebody comes to for advice outside office hours. And you've got to set your boundaries as well. So it's like, if you want to speak to me, if you have something that's business critical, then talk to me between these hours. If it's absolutely urgent, like somebody's about to die, then come and see me. That's fine. But if it's business critical, these hours, and then you set your boundaries and people know when to approach you, and then you make yourself super approachable after work. So you're not being an idiot, you're not being nasty, you're just kind of like, this is how I operate in order to hit my earnings for the year, in order to overachieve my earnings, and that's super important. So that's how I do it. And then what that does is, because you have your boundaries really well set, you're managing people's expectations, it gives you immense freedom to do whatever you want. So I'm getting in that little bit earlier, but people don't know how early that I've got in. And then I'm going to the gym exactly when I want to at 5:30, because nobody's doing anything after between 5:30 and 6:30. People are driving home, etc. And then what I'd be doing is getting on to candidates after 6:30, 6:45 at night. And that kind of two-hour period gave me a lot in that period, again, to hit and often I double my target for the day, so that in the year, essentially I should have been earning twice as much as my target earnings. It doesn't work exactly like that, because it's not the curve is not linear, but you get the point. Super important. And what that does for your sporting life, it frees up everything, so that when it comes to the weekend, you can afford to have off that Sunday, you can afford to have off that Saturday. You probably put yourself in a mindset where you want to do 2 hours on a Saturday, 2 hours on a Sunday, because you realize the value that it can have when you're not being distracted in an open plan office, but you're hitting your targets, you're getting somewhere in your career, and you're moving forward. And if you've got that coming from sport, your fitness, and you've got it coming from your work, you're on fire. Good luck. And if you get anything from this, please put something in the comments. Tell me what you're dealing with at the moment. Maybe you're trying to manage too. Maybe you kind of struggle with productivity. Really love to hear from you.